Gus Walz.
Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you. I'm letting you in on how we started a family, because this is a big part about what this election is about.
He had an iconic moment during the DNC when his dad, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, was up on stage talking about how much he loves his family. It was an incredible, incredible moment.
You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you. Because you're an Indian.
Not for Ann Coulter, though.
Well, there are many wonderful qualities to Herman Cain, but to be honest with you, I think liberals are too dense to see them. All they see is conservative black man. Look at how they go after Allen West. Look at how they go after Michael Steele. I mean, all of them with wonderful qualities. I mean, that's why our blacks are so much better than their blacks.
A deeply unserious bigot, Coulter would call Gus weird. She would delete that post. Mike Crispy.
So President Trump, who I think does a great job of calling these people out and kind of uncovering the swampy swamp that people aren't looking at.
A local MAGA pick-me on the East Coast.
State-sanctioned kidnapping. They're saying if you are a child and you're in California and you go read the pornography books in school and the teacher talks to you about snipping your genitals and you see some kids doing it and some whack job mentally ill trans or gay parents are pushing it on their kid and sexualizing and destabilizing them at a young age, and little kids are getting impressionable and they want to fit in, and this is why 1 in 3 now of youth identify as some type of LGBT.
Would tweet this: Tim Walz' stupid crying son isn't the flex the left thinks it is. You raised your kid to be a puffy beta male, congrats. Does Barron Trump cry? Nope. Does he love his father? Of course. That's the type of values I want leading the country. Insane. That's an insane thing to type. Think it's good, and then click another button to post to your followers. Then there's Milwaukee radio host Jay Weber. He too would weigh in. Sorry, but this is embarrassing for both father and son. If the Walzes represent today's American man, this country is screwed. Meet my son Gus. He's a blubbering B-boy. His mother and I are very proud. Weber would delete this post. He's a host for iHeartRadio, and he would be pulled off the air. Weber, though, would go on to delete that original message on Twitter and post what some criticized as a non-apology, typing, I didn't realize the kid was disabled and have taken the post down, but I've been challenging Walz on substance and character ever since he was named as the VP candidate. He is a liar who has destroyed Minnesota in many ways. He then deleted the apology and statement. So what are we doing here, man? Now to Chicago. Say hello to Amy Jacobson, the radio host and volleyball coach at Amundsen High School, along with Dan Proft. They are on the air together as a team and obtained audio via Heartland Signal. Credit to them for capturing it. Proft and Jacobson would do the unthinkable.
What's the deal with his kid?
Oh,
Can somebody get Gus Walz some Ritalin?
well, he's excited. That's my dad. That's my dad. And he was crying too. That's my dad, not your dad. That's my dad.
I mean, you know what it reminded me of?
What?
The capital of the civilized world.
I love
It
you.
should be, and it will be so.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Farley is Andrew Giuliani on Saturday Night Live, where Giuliani was inaugurated, and Andrew
Oh, that's right. The kid
stole
was
the show
because
because he was all over.
He's precocious. Little
Chris
kid.
Farley, may you rest in peace, climbing all over Kevin Nealon playing Giuliani. Yeah,
That's my dad.
that's exactly what that Walz kid did. I mean, he's not 11; he's 17 years
know,
old.
he's
He's out of his
senior in
seat.
high
He's
school.
bawling with the Dad, I love you, Dad. And then she goes, Papa Bear's coming home, Gus. What the hell was that?
For me,
come on. That is. I mean, I don't like go after family members unless they invite themselves into the arena like Hunter Biden did.
Yes.
But I mean, it's just weird. It's weird. Use Tim Walz's word against him. It's just what the heck?
For me, the weirdest part was when he had for public.
It is disgraceful that they thought this was funny. That Jacobson would get in on it. That Proft would get in on it. And neither of them really had any tendency to think, maybe we're crossing the line here. But they went through with it. As we learned, Gus has a non-verbal learning disorder, ADHD, and anxiety. From the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Gus Walz's nonverbal learning disorder, which his dad calls his secret power, is shared by millions of Americans. Despite the 3 to 4% of people, both children and adults, who have the condition, it's not nearly as understood as Gus's other diagnosis of ADHD. From Spectrum News, they would have more. Nonverbal learning disorder is a disability that children are born with, but it's often not detected until later in childhood. A specialist would speak with the outlet and say this. They also can have some barriers around some social cues and understanding the nuances of verbal language, but also nonverbal communication. And via the LA Times, the condition known as NVLD was first recognized in the year 1967 and does not yet have a formal clinical definition. It is characterized by a significant gap between verbal abilities, which are just fine, and non-verbal kinds of learning that involve visual spatial processing, such as telling time on a clock, reading a map, and balancing a budget. Those challenges with spatial awareness can give children trouble with motor skills that can make them clumsy or cause problems with tasks like tying shoes, using silverware, and writing by hand, according to the NVLD Project, a nonprofit that aims to have the condition added to the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. More from the Times. School becomes more challenging toward the end of elementary school, when learning becomes more about noticing patterns and applying concepts. That can cause problems with reading, comprehension, and more advanced kinds of math problems. Now, here is the thing. Jacobson is no stranger to controversy, and I'm going to explain why. Many in the Chicagoland area are familiar with this name, and it is because she served as a journalist and reporter for a few different stations, but most notably WMAQ, which is an NBC affiliate, Channel 5, in the Chicagoland area. While she was a journalist and reporter, she was tasked with investigating a man whose wife went missing. She would be photographed at that man's house in a bathing suit as she brought her 2 children over there. That is, in my view and many others, leading one to not be impartial with a story that you are assigned to. Now, she would no longer have that position after this revelation came to light. I know, it's just shocking. She would sue, and that lawsuit would be unsuccessful. Proft, meanwhile, was ousted from the board of Envision Unlimited, and they basically hinted towards his recent comments. Jacobson would go on to say, as Weber did and many others have, which is not an excuse, I would have reacted differently if I had the additional information. I had no idea he had any type of learning disability or ADHD. Whether you did or did not have that information, which you should, if you are to be a respected member of the media, which you are not, would you have mocked him in the same way? You know, I tend to think if you are mocking children, kids, for having a reaction like this, because they are proud of a family member. It's time to look in the mirror. It's time to really reflect on what your values are. And for the party that considers themselves family values, why is it stricken in this moment, with this story, with this person? They say that they want to value family, yet they are showing you who they are so many times over. I am curious now. What is AM 560 going to do about Proft and Jacobson? Considering they are known for their staunchly right-wing commentary, program director's probably loving it. Amundsen High School, where she serves as a volleyball coach. What are you going to do? Considering this is how she mocks kids. You want her leading teams? You want her preparing the next generation? Well, considering the facts of the case and how many whammies she has on her record, I would say if it were me, probably not.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.